Mr. Transformers 96 here with another video. I'm going to be showing a custom, my newest one, being Megatron from the last night. This is the leader class version. So I got a lot of requests to do Megatron for the longest time now, and I always considered it because I did all the other Decepticons from the last night, so Megatron was the only one that I had that wasn't customized, so he didn't look great with the others. So that's when I decided to go ahead, and actually do to paint him, just to make him fit in essentially. However, when I started painting him, it actually was really fun. It turned out very good. I'm very happy with the color that I was able to get, and yeah, I'm quite happy with the end result here. So let's go over it. Alright, so if you didn't see, I did post a video when I started doing this custom showing you like kind of my process, and I used this figure as an example because that was the one that I was currently doing, and I was using a silver paint to paint him. I have not stuck with that though. I ended up going out and looking for something a little bit better, and I was able to find a galvanized tin paint, metallic galvanized tin. I used that and it worked out so much better. It has a really cool, unique kind of sheen to it. It's got this dark look, but it still has the shine. It was I don't know if I've ever been so happy with a paint color before. It turned out perfect in my opinion. So you know, you can kind of argue what color Megatron is in the movie. He's a pretty bright metallic color. He's not complete silver, but he's close to it. So this is like a slightly darker version of that, but still has a metallic and bright shiny look to it. So I personally absolutely love this color. I think that it fits perfectly. I think this is absolute perfection, for me personally at least. I absolutely love it. So take a look at the head here. I like with my leader Megatron, I like to display him with the helmet closed simply because the Voyager one doesn't have the capability to do that. So it's something unique with the leader. So I want to represent that, as well as I just like the look better, I think. Of course, I gave him that red stripe that goes down the side of his face. Just used red paint for that and just kind of like lightly applied it so that it wasn't super heavy-handed. And you know, when you do it light and at an angle, you can kind of catch the angles of you can catch the edges of the textures in there, so it doesn't like completely paint everything, and therefore it has a more natural and realistic type of look. Just to give you that as an example. The backpack area I didn't paint. I left that the same color that it was, and I did that simply because I wanted it to just kind of not be noticeable. And, you know, obviously, when you're looking at it, if it was the same color, it would give his body a bulkness, like a can bulkness. But since it's a different color, you can see the contours of what's actually supposed to be the body, and therefore it doesn't have that look. So that's the reason that I left it. You know, I considered it painting it the same color, just painting it black or something, but I think black would make it stand out a little bit too much, so I left it that color. And I'm pretty happy with that. You know, I don't think that I would paint it. Now, as far as like what I did with it other than paint, because obviously the main thing I did was the paint. But I also removed some parts, and I made sure to remove all of the parts that were able to be removed without being a permanent thing. So let's see. Got a couple of these little wing sections that were just on the back of the figure. They were just attached right here. Let's see. Got these longer wing sections. These were like attached up here. So just pop those off. And then we've got these two sections. These were attached in here and just kind of both laid over here. It made the gun way too bulky. That's something I never really liked about this leader class figure. In general, I don't really like the leader class figure. I don't think it's a particularly good figure. I think that it has way too many problems, and when you have the Voyager class one to compare it to, the Voyager class one does all of this but a lot better. So you know, when you can see it done better, you think that a more expensive, bigger scale one would be better, but it's not. The Voyager one is just a better figure in general. So I never liked the cannon. I thought it was way too big and bulky and weird. So removing those side pieces helps a lot, actually. It really does help slim it down. It's still not perfect. I still prefer the Voyager one more over this. However, this is definitely a better look, I believe. So removing that does leave you like a bit of a gap inside of there. I'm considering putting something in there. However, now this can slide back in it, you know, if I wanted to. So I might add something in there just to kind of fill it in a little bit more. But I'd much rather have that than the bulky crap hanging off of his gun. And this way you could actually like fully see the gun extended. Like with the other stuff, I mean, it would like hang down, so you know, it would like be covering a portion of the gun and things. So it's much better like this in my opinion. I definitely like that a lot. He, of course, maintains all of his articulation and everything like that. And then, so once I painted everything, the galvanized tin, I did leave a couple things silver just to kind of give a little bit of dimension. Like you've got some detail there that's silver. This little square piece is silver. Let's see at the back here, got some silver bits there. Silver on the neck. On the weapon, I painted the weapon silver and then painted some details galvanized tin. So you've got this section that runs all the way down here, and then some of these little stopper pieces, and then the handle section, painted that just to give it a little more dimension so that the weapon wouldn't be all the same color. Then obviously I painted the red, and then lastly I did some gold details. So obviously I painted this stuff gold. This was already like a yellowish gold, however, but I repainted it gold so that it had more of a goldish look, and did a little bit in here, did a little bit on that shoulder piece, a little bit over here, and then on the legs I did a tiny bit as well, just little sections in here. I believe that the movie one has a bit more gold on him. I tried to minimize it though. I didn't want to go crazy with it. Just wanted to leave enough that those pieces kind of popped, but not do too much. Like the Prime Studio 1 statue, that has too much gold on it in my opinion. I don't think that it's actually accurate at all. But I do believe that in the movie, there's like a happy medium where there's a bit more gold in this, but not quite as much as that statue. So I went to go, I did this amount, and I, you know, was pretty happy with it. What I wanted to do was just do it in a couple places, then see how it would look, and then add more if need be. So I did it in a couple places, and then it came out great. I was very happy with the amount of gold on it. So I'm good. I'm not going to add any more. It's unnecessary. It would be too distracting, and it would make him a little bit more busy than I would have preferred. So that's why I'm going to stick with this. Let's give you a comparison here with the Last Night Decepticon crew. Before I show the Decepticons, quickly just wanted to show you him with his fire accessory. As you can see, it does still work perfectly good. I do like that fire accessory a lot. I didn't paint that at all because I like it translucent, because when you put, you know, some lights like really close over it, it really lights it up. It looks like fire. When you remove the lights though, it becomes very toyish. But with those lights, it has such a cool fire-ish realistic look to it that I definitely wanted to keep that. So I didn't, you know, paint that at all. And also you can still, of course, open up the face and reveal his actual face underneath the helmet. Looks pretty cool. I kind of like the look of this, but I'm certainly not a big fan of it. And again, considering that the Voyager one has it permanently like that, I'd rather have this one be different. And not to mention, I just like the helmeted look better. Alright, so here's at least a portion of the Decepticon Last Night Transformers crew together. Really love these characters. I have to say, I'm pretty happy to have like a set like this. And yeah, I'm really grateful. I think that all of them have turned out really nicely in their own way. And these characters, at least so far, I'm very happy with these. Really have no issues. Don't plan to update these. This is my perfect crew. I'm really happy with all of these figures. I think they look great together. They all have a unique look, and they're all pretty bright, and they pop out in their own separate ways, and they have own distinctive qualities that I really enjoy. The only other one to add to this team is Mohawk, basically. And Mohawk I made a Mohawk custom. You can check that out. However, I'm not quite happy with it. I am updating it as we speak. I'm working on a few projects at the same time, so I don't know if it's going to be the next one that I finish, but I am working on it. It's difficult. It certainly is. I don't know how great it's going to turn out, but it will be more movie accurate than the last one that I did, and therefore, you know, I want to make it more movie accurate. I wasn't, you know, I liked the last one. It was a nice stand-in, but it didn't fit movie accuracy as much as these guys did, and these guys fit really nicely. So I wanted it to be more movie accurate, and therefore I am redoing that figure basically. So, really love all of these guys together, though. I think that they look quite excellent, and yeah, I'm very happy to have this set. I also have Berserker, although he's never, like, seen with this crew. He is kind of mentioned with it, essentially, so I do have a Berserker custom. That was my last one that I did, and therefore I'll add him to this team as well. So, I'll make a separate video comparing them all. Not quite sure if I'll wait until Mohawk's done before I do that, but I will make a Decepticon video, and I'll probably make a collection video showing you where I keep my my custom custom Transformers as well. And then just a couple shout outs of what I have coming out. Again, I'm working on Mohawk. I just started a project yesterday that I'm having quite a bit of fun with that I might actually just do now before I do Mohawk is a battle damage brawl figure. It's fun, and it's coming together better than I expected too, so I'm enjoying that one. That might be the next one that I actually put out. I'm also considering doing like an update of Bone Crusher, possibly like a Battle Damage Bone Crusher. I'm considering doing the same type of thing with Barricade and Blackout too, kind of doing my original Transformers crew, maybe like a Battle Damage version of that crew, or a just kind of an updated version of that crew. So I'm actually, I'm kind of intrigued by that idea at the moment. So hopefully I'll finish Mohawk soon. But he's not fun to work on, just because it's a pain to work on him, because a lot of it has to do with molding pieces, which is incredibly hard. I'm finding working with the epoxy putty, it's way too like sticky and hard to really get the exact look that you want from it. So I'm having difficulties with it. But yeah, I'll finish it, and it'll fit really nicely in this group. It'll certainly be better than my last one. But I don't think that it's going to be perfect. Like all of these characters, I'm pretty happy in saying that these are perfect for me personally. I'm not trying to hype up my work. I'm just saying for me personally, this is exactly what I imagined, and I'm pretty happy saying that these are my perfect representations of these characters. Mohawk, I think there's going to be room for improvement after I finish that one, but nevertheless, I think that he'll look excellent with this crew in general. So there you go. That's my video with the Transformers Last Night Leader Class Megatron. By the way, that Leader Class figure is actually the biggest figure I've ever painted. So that's kind of an achievement on its own. It didn't seem too difficult though. I don't know why. Maybe I had like a week off, so I guess since I had the extra time, it didn't feel too difficult to do him. But yeah, biggest custom I've ever done so far, which is kind of exciting. So there you go. Let me know what you guys think of this Leader Class customized Megatron figure, and what do you think of the Decepticon crew as it stands at the moment. And thanks so much for watching.